Hello there. This is the final episode in the series when the old way stops working, right? When the old way stops working. This episode, we're getting into when success no longer feels like success. Welcome back to Purpose Over Paycheck, Midlife Reinvention. This is the place where we are, you know, um, we're in the midst of what I like to call label, just for the sake of giving it a name, because this is what it is, a midlife reinvention for women 50 and above, rising in faith, walking in freedom, living in flow, and flourishing in every God designed season. This is all about our embracing our next chapter, embodying our next chapter, and it actually being the best, uh, even better than the first set, right? Than the first part of our journey. So when success no longer feels like success is a moment in midlife that doesn't look dramatic from the outside, right? Nothing has collapsed, nothing has exploded, okay? Nothing has fallen apart. It's when your life still looks stable. Responsibilities may still be intact, your relationships may still be in place as they once were, right? But inside something feels different. Your interests have shifted, even if ever so slightly. Your pace has changed, right? Not a slower pace, just different. It's changed. It's a different pace. Your desires feel quieter. Your priorities feel unfamiliar because they too are shifting. And here's the $1 million point is that you may not have a name for it. You may not have a name for it. You don't have the language for it because this is a new and a different experience. You just know that you know that you know that something has changed because we're taught, you and I, we're of that generation, right? Where we were taught only to recognize change that was dramatic, over the top, everything falling apart, catastrophe, paramount, right? Dramatic. This quiet internal shift feels confusing. It has been for me. And I am not foolish enough to think that I am the only one. Okay. We are taught to look for crisis, right? Taught, trained by example to look for crisis, breakdowns, major turning points, visible disruptions, right? But midlife often brings a different kind of transition, one that is subtle, right? Internal, gradual, and most importantly, deeply, deeply personal. Nothing is wrong, but everything feels different. And I know that sounds strange, but you understand. Nothing is wrong, but something is definitely different. And without the dramatic to explain it, we may begin to question ourselves, right? We may ask, why don't I feel the same way anymore? Why does my life feel unfamiliar, even though nothing has changed? But I know something has changed, but it wasn't dramatic, but I know it's changed. Why don't things that once excite me make me feel the same? And the easiest conclusion is something must be wrong with me. And I'm here to say, what? Ask a question. But what if nothing is wrong? What if nothing is wrong? What if what we're experiencing is integration? Integration is what happens when our past experiences, our growth, our wisdom, our lessons, our losses, our victories begin to reorganize our inner life. Integration is not dramatic, it is quiet. It happens slowly over time. And often we don't even realize it's happening until we begin to feel different. Case in point, my own life hasn't unfolded the way I once imagined. There were dreams I thought would still be intact in this season. Structures that I spent a lot of time investing in that I thought would still be standing. A version of life I assumed I would grow older, gracefully and inside of. But au contraire, mon frère. My God, life had its own unfolding for me, as I'm sure is the case for you as well. And integration is what has allowed me to meet the life I actually have. Not the one imagined, not the one I built structures for, not the one I thought I would have, but actually live inside of, fully flourishing in the life that is unfolding and has unfolded for me instead of the one I once imagined. Not with bitterness, not with urgency, but with honesty. And I promise you, it has made all of the difference in the world for me. You yourself may notice you react less quickly. You need more time to decide. You're less interested in proving yourself because you've done that. You've been there, done that, wearing the t-shirt, or like I say, have the t-shirt and washing the car with it, right? You don't feel the same urgency to impress others. You're more protective of your peace. And these changes can feel disoriented, I understand, because they don't match the version of yourself you've known for decades. This is a threshold, not a crisis, not a breakdown, a threshold. And thresholds aren't meant to be rushed. They are meant to be crossed slowly, thoughtfully, with awareness and care. Oof. You are not meant to explain this season quickly. You are meant to live inside it. And quite honestly, at this stage of our journey, what are we explaining? And who are we explaining it to? This is a dialogue we're having with ourselves, with who we are becoming, and the life we're choosing to live at this stage of our journey. Living inside of it is an opportunity for us to notice, to listen, to let the new version of ourselves take shape without force. Mm, something to think about. You know, I'm always asking a question, something to prompt thought and introspection. So ponder this. What feels different in your life right now, in this very moment, as you're watching this or listening to this? Even if you can't fully explain why. What feels different in your life right now in this moment, even if you can't fully explain why? That difference may not be a problem to solve. It may be a threshold to honor, a threshold to cross slowly, a threshold to be fully aware of and manage with care. Mm, 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 mm. If this has resonated with you, share this with someone. Like and subscribe to the channel Purpose Over Paycheck TV. Share this with someone that you may have an inkling, a knowing, a sensing that they may be struggling at this stage of their journey. I promise you, it will be beneficial and a blessing to them, just as it has been to you. You know how I like to end each episode, and especially because this is closing out this series when the old way stops working, right? So, this is a blessing to seal this series and this part of our journey together. May you trust the shift before it asks for explanation. May you release the need to justify your becoming. May your life move forward without force. May you remember nothing is wrong, something is unfolding. Mm. Remember, midlife is not a crisis, it's a calling. A calling, it's an invitation to reinvention. We're still here, we're still rising, and we're still flowing and flourishing in this God designed season. Faith, freedom, flow, and flourishing. This is 50 reinvented. And like I promised last episode, maybe the ocean waves will work this time, especially since this is the last episode as I close out in peace.